Jennifer, and I'm here with Principal Roth to discuss the new grading system at NAHS. Can you explain the new grading system to us?
Sure. So in the past, your report card grades were on a scale of 0 to 100. And what's going to be different this year is when you get your report card, you're going to see a letter grade instead of a numerical grade. And those letter grades will include pluses and minuses. So you have the ability to earn an A minus, or as you would, of course, an A plus.
Okay. What was the main cause for changing the previous grading system?
Well, there's a lot of research out there that says that the 0 to 100 grading scale is unfair, right? And it makes sense. If 60% of a scale is all one grade, an F, it's weighted towards the negative. The other thing that was important for us was adding in pluses and minuses and making sure that your GPA can reflect that. A lot of schools do that. We did not. And for some colleges, at least, when they take our GPA at face value, if you earned an A plus, but we only give you credit for an A, it puts you behind.
How will this change affect the teacher's abilities to instruct and teach?
So I don't know that it has a big impact on day-to-day instruction. I think, when we analyze the impact it would have had on past grades, it does have a positive impact for some students. So I think, we may have more students that are a bit more engaged because they have the ability to earn a bit of a higher grade. But day to day, I don't really think that we're going to see much of a difference.
Why is it different for all types of grades?
So everyone is going to get these letter grades on their report card. The difference really comes into how we calculate your GPA and your class rank. We could not take juniors and seniors who are halfway through the process and change how we rank you, right? That would be unfair. And so while everyone will get the same type of report card grades, on your transcripts, juniors and seniors will still get the same letter grade with no plus or minus that you would have in the past. For freshmen and sophomores, your final grades, which are the only grades that show in your transcript, will have the ability to show a plus or a minus.
Why not keep the grading system the same as how it was before?
Well, I think it really just comes down to making sure that we're doing everything we can to give you every competitive advantage that you deserve. If a kid at, say, Plymouth Whitemarsh, who earns a B plus, they finish a course with an 89 and you finish a course with an 89, but you both apply to Penn State and Penn State gives them a 3.33 because that's what their scale says. But you only get a 3.0 because we didn't give you a B plus, we just gave you a B. That automatically puts you behind that student. And while a lot of colleges will adjust for that, some colleges have too many applicants to actually be able to do that. So we want to make sure that we're putting you in the best position possible.
Who was a part of the decision making when this change was brought along?
So we had a lot of conversations with teachers just about grading practices in general. These conversations happened over the course of several months. And a lot of the teachers, when we started looking at this data, when we started looking at how unfair the research said that 0 to 100 scale was, a lot of teachers immediately kind of got on board with changing to this type of a scale. It also ensures that, for students that maybe don't have the best quarter, in the past, if you earned a 25, which I know is a really low grade, but, we would give you like an artificial 50, right, to say that you had a chance. And, there's a lot of research, again, that shows that that's not really an effective practice. And so we're just going to call, for the student that really struggles, we're going to call an F and F. But if you get a C, it balances out. And I think, when we look at the fairness and the equity that's involved there for every student to have a chance, not just to pass, but to really earn the grade they deserve, that was the driving force. Teachers were on board with it. We did discuss it at a PFC meeting. We discussed it with some student council members. And there was really no opposition to it. And of course, our central admin and our school board were supportive as well.
Are middle schools using this grading as well?
To my knowledge, the middle school grading policies have not changed. I believe that they are the same.
When did this information release publicly?
So it's in the program of studies. And we published that program of studies, I guess, last November. It was a part of all the information that we put out certainly this summer, videos and class assemblies, things like that nature. And I'll be honest, I think, it's a greater point of emphasis now because report cards are going to come out pretty soon. It's one thing to talk about what your grades look like in August. People are more focused on what their schedule is, but now the report cards are coming very soon. I think this is hitting home a little bit, so it's a good chance for us to revisit it.
Have there been any complaints from students or parents?
I really haven't gotten any complaints. I've, had a lot of questions, but no complaints. I think, this interview and things like this are very helpful just for us to make sure that people know what is going on, that it will look a little bit different, what our rationale was. But I really haven't had any complaints per se.
Why tell us this now and not in the beginning of the year?
Well, so we did, put this out there in the beginning of the year, but in the beginning of the year, we put a lot of stuff out there, right? We kind of overwhelm you with information. And again, I think when report cards are, 9, 10, 11 weeks away and the end of the course is months away, I don't know that this information was a priority then. And that's why I think revisiting it now when grades are more of a focus for everyone is really important.
How does the system affect the F or negative parts of the grades?
So again, in the past, our system, and obviously we're in a block now, so it's different anyway, but our system in the past was in the first, second, and third marking period, no matter how low your grade was, you got that 50, right? And then in the fourth marking period, you got whatever grade you earned. So if you earned a 15 in the fourth marking period, you got a 15, and that really pulled your grade down again because the scale was so heavily weighted towards the negative. Now the F carries the same weight as an A, B, C, or D. So if you have that bad quarter, whether it's because of bad habits or sometimes life just happens, and it ends up reflected in your grades, it's a bit easier to bounce back. And we don't have to give you an artificial grade to make that happen. We can give you the grade that you earned. If you earned an F, we'll give you an F. However, you have the chance to then bounce back, earn a B in the second quarter, and then you're averaging a 3 and a 0, and you end up with that 1.5 on the scale. So you inch your way up towards a C.
How can students find out more information?
So the program of studies, I know it's a long document and it's not the most exciting read, but take a look in the program of studies. This information is in the program of studies. It is on page 6 of the program of studies. And we're going to, in the next month or so, be coming out with the program of studies for next year, where this same information will be in there. But it's always a good idea as we start thinking about selecting courses for next year. Take a good look through there, see what we have to offer. You're going to start thinking about classes for next year in the next 2 months. The block schedule will necessitate that. So take a look in the program of studies, take a look at the grading information, and then go on and see what great courses you want to take in the 2021-2022 school year.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, just if I know this is new, and I think this is a little more straightforward than the old weighting and ranking system. It was a pretty convoluted formula that we used before. So hopefully in the long run, this makes it a little easier for people to figure out where they stand. But if you have any questions, please reach out to me, reach out to the assistant principals, reach out to your counselors. We're happy to field those questions. And if you have concerns, we're happy to hear them too. It's important for us to know what is concerning to you.
Okay. Thank you for your time. And for those watching, be sure to work hard and keep your grades up.